Welcome back. Now, it may not be something that you really think about often, but if your body has a deficiency of vitamin D3, you're in danger of having some serious health problems. Here to tell us what they could be and how something called the Trivedi effect can help is CEO of Trivedi Global Incorporated, Alice Brandon. Alice, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Alex. It's so great to be here. Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month this month, and it's such a great time to highlight the importance of vitamin D in our lives.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact is, like I said, not having enough vitamin D3 can really lead to some ill effects for people's health. So
Yes.
Run through some of those with us. What effect does it have?
Absolutely, particularly in cancer, which we'll definitely want to speak about today. In breast cancer in particular, 1 in 8 women are diagnosed today with breast cancer. It's one of the most highly diagnosed here in America. And even Julia Louis-Dreyfus recently came out and said that she has breast cancer, and we're wishing her a very speedy and healthful recovery with that. But it's something that we have to deal with. I know that I've dealt with cancer with my mother, and so many of us, I don't think there's anyone that isn't touched by that or some other disease. And they know now in some recent study that's coming out, some of the leading cancer research studies, that 83% of women that are diagnosed with breast cancer had a pre-existing vitamin D3 deficiency, and 60% of all cancers, which is incredible because so many people's lives are touched with cancer. But vitamin D plays such a vital role. It has to do, people often think of it as bone health, but that has to do with our immunity, keeping our immunity strong, prevents autoimmune disorders, fatigue, any kind of cardiac health, brain and cognition, so Alzheimer's, autism, all of these things are affected by low vitamin D.
Wow.
I was actually just about a month back in Harvard speaking about this because it's so important in our lives today. It really is a global pandemic, this vitamin D deficiency that we're seeing. It is like the electricity that runs to your home for your body. If your electricity is low and your lights are flickering and your appliances aren't working, you can't solve the problem by replacing a light bulb or replacing an appliance, doing a fad, doing something new. You have to get to the root cause. You have to increase that electricity. Vitamin D is needed in every single cell of our bodies.
Wow.
It's vital.
Well, I mean, you have me convinced already. It's vital to every part of our health, like you're saying. So people have to be asking themselves, how do we fight this deficiency?
Definitely. And that's why we say, I've written a book about the myths of vitamin D3, because we really want to make sure we have good information.
Yeah.
And the best way to get vitamin D, the most natural way, is for it to come from the sun, to get that life energy from the sun. But we know that through all the leading research that it's not happening. Humanity is losing that ability, incredibly so. It has nothing to do with your age, your skin color, what part of the world you live in. Just the Vitamin D Council put out a research study just a week or so ago that said that 95% of women in India, in the rural villages who spend their entire days in the sun, vitamin D deficient. 75% of Americans, 90% of people in the UK, 100% of the participants in a study in the Middle East, vitamin D deficient. We're not getting it from the sun, so we can't think 15 minutes of sun is going to do it.
Wow.
Then they say take a supplement. Well, the supplement doses are not enough. What people don't realize is that it's not so bioavailable. We take it, it just goes right through, and we're not able to absorb it. 0 to 3% of the supplement is actually absorbed. So that's not such a good way. Or maybe drinking a glass of milk, not enough. Foods are fortified with vitamin D, but it's not giving us what we need. So we have to really be aware of that and know that this is a global problem.
Wow. And I mean, there's so much that can be said about this, obviously. There's so many different facets to it, but really quick, how will the Trivedi effect actually help people battle this problem?
I mean, we have spent years investing in the latest research. The best institutions, multi-billion-dollar institutions are working with us, and we're coming with some really revolutionary ways that people can synthesize vitamin D and use it in their bodies. I've written about it in my book that's coming out, and I want to tell you all about it, but I know we have limited time. So I have something special that I want to do.
Yes.
And that is, if they come to my website and opt in, we're going to give all of your viewers an e-copy of the book, The Vitamin D Myth. So we can tell you what we're doing at Trivedi. We have more than 270 scientific peer-reviewed journal publications on the work that we've done. We are in 3,000 universities worldwide, 1,300 here in America, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, National Institutes of Health.
Well, Alice, thank you for everything you're doing.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm going to tell them where they can get that book, where they can learn more information, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Definitely. Now, experience the Trivedi effect in your life and keep up with the breakthroughs by learning more by calling 877-493-4092. Of course, you can visit alicebranton.com.